Got big breaking news coming in here on India Today. You're hearing it first. Covaxin, India's Covaxin has been approved by the WHO for emergency use. That's the big story we're breaking first and exclusive here on India Today. The WHO has approved India's Covaxin for emergency use. Finally, after a great deal of process, after acquiring additional data, the Covaxin by Bharat Biotech has been approved for emergency use. That's the big story we're breaking here on India Today. In just a moment from now, we will have more details on precisely what this means. We've already broken down for you what this means. The WHO Tech Advisory Committee has approved and endorsed Covaxin by the World Health Organization in terms of emergency use licensing. This is the big story that we're breaking for you here on India Today. This is going to come as massive relief to recipients of Covaxin, which includes Prime Minister Modi himself. 12% of all vaccinations in India happen to be Covaxin manufactured by India's very own Bharat Biotech. This is a vaccine that was designed, developed and manufactured completely in India by Indians and has been exported to several other countries as well. Sneha Mordani live and exclusive on this big breaking story. Sneha, as you had reported first, the approvals are finally in on Covaxin. Emergency use has been approved by the WHO, long awaited, and we got it right once again.
Yes, Shiv, this is through agencies that we picked up this information. Remember, the Technical Advisory Group was meeting to assess the final data submitted. I've also spoken to sources within Bharat Biotech. They do say that they're positive about an approval and order, a formal order coming their way, but that formal order has just not come. I think it's a matter of time before that formal order is given for emergency use listing for Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, which means it's going to open up doors for so many things, right from travel for Indians from those 16 countries to many more countries. Apart from that, more opportunities for Bharat Biotech's Covaxin to reach different parts of the world through the COVAX facility, commercial dealings for Covaxin, and of course a big boost for the Indian manufacturing industry. Also when it comes to vaccine manufacturing, it's India's indigenous vaccine against COVID-19. We're waiting for a final and official word from either Bharat Biotech or the World Health Organization, but this is what agencies are picking up, citing sources within the World Health Organization.
This is a big development here. It's something that there had been a great deal of anxiety and suspense and anticipation about, Sneha, because the Technical Advisory Group had already asked for additional data. They wanted to assess additional data which had been supplied by Bharat Biotech. Your conversation with Krishna Ella, even though there was optimism, there was a little bit of anxiety about whether things would be delayed further, and it looks like a very major hurdle. Of course, there are more tribulations ahead, but this is a big one. The WHO providing the same kind of emergency use authorization, according to agencies, that it has provided to some of the big other global vaccines. Huge relief for India, for Covaxin recipients, for Bharat Biotech, and for the Indian government.
Huge relief for Bharat Biotech, for the Indian government, as you rightly pointed out, because remember, at the end of the day, it's the Indian Council of Medical Research along with Bharat Biotech that has developed this vaccine. So it is essentially a government vaccine that has been developed along with Bharat Biotech. In that sense, it's a huge relief for the government as well. The government of India has been talking about this. What we understand is that the Ministry of External Affairs also has been deeply involved in conversations with the WHO, for example, about what it is going to take, then the kind of pending paperwork that was required to be done. Bharat Biotech had also, in fact, submitted data afresh that involved immunogenicity data, for example, amongst senior citizens above the age of 60. Also, the gender-wise data of immunogenicity and the efficacy. This is certainly a big development, and this essentially, literally, is going to give wings to around 15 crore Indians who have, in fact, taken Covaxin. production continues to be a bit of a problem in the country when it comes to this vaccine, given that it's an it's an inactivated vaccine and the production process takes much longer. It requires a BSL-3 facility, for example, to be manufactured. There aren't too many in the country, but that is something that again is going to improve in days and weeks to come, given that now the demand also shifts for Covaxin, not just in India, outside of India will also increase, with several low-income countries now using Serum Institute's Covishield, and from the COVAX platform, it's expected that the demand now for Covaxin also will increase when they are in a position to supply to COVAX facility. It's also going to help Bharat Biotech, in fact, go ahead and be involved in commercial dealings of this vaccine also. All said and done, at the end of the day, it'll be made in India vaccine that's going to be reaching different parts of the world.
Milan Sharma also with me live. Sneha and Milan have been on the front lines of tracking the journey of Covaxin, navigating the different procedures and approvals by global organizations. Both have broken every single story there is to break on this story, and getting us to this point where Covaxin has now been granted emergency use authorization by the WHO, the World Health Organization. Break down for us, Milan, how difficult it has been. It has been a very, very tense time. But first, the simple and most obvious question, what does this mean for recipients of Covaxin? Prime Minister Modi, of course, is the Prime Minister. He gets to go everywhere. But ordinary folks like you and me, I'm a recipient of the Covaxin. What does this mean for me, Milan?
Well, Shiv, firstly, it's a big gift just on the auspicious occasion of Diwali that India has received, as Covaxin gets that crucial approval from WHO. What it means for you and me is that now other countries will step up and look to approve Covaxin as the accepted vaccine for travel and inter-country international travel everywhere. We know that the 16 countries that approved Covaxin for international travel within their countries have done so on their own government purpose. But now, after the WHO approval, there will be countries and bigger drug regulatory authorities such as the US FDA, the European Union, as well as other drug regulators who will look at Covaxin and its credibility as a vaccine that protects against COVID-19. And they will also be using it and approving it in their own country. So travel will open tremendously, Shiv. I can travel to another country. If they look at the WHO approval, they will approve the vaccine, and that should come in shortly. As you and I speak, Bharat Biotech is still awaiting a formal order of confirmation from the WHO's Technical Advisory Committee. But we've been given this news by top sources. It also means that Covaxin can be administered in other countries apart from the 16 already there. Exports will open for Covaxin as well. It's made in India vaccine that will be given outside our country as well through the approvals of WHO. And certainly, this seems to be a big boost to the indigenous vaccine that India has made. And people, and many of them, as Neha also pointed out, around 15 crore people who've taken Covaxin were waiting to travel to many countries in the Southeast Asia region, even in the Western region. They were waiting so that they could travel without having to quarantine themselves for 14 days and without having to go through those mandatory tests that are required and are expensive for many people to do, especially for students and especially for people who travel for business and not just leisure. That process will now be streamlined. So you and I, we are Covaxin takers. We can travel to these countries provided the WHO gives a stamp of approval, and looking at that, other countries are also expected to follow suit, and especially countries such as the United Kingdom and the US, where a lot of Indians especially travel for work and other such arrangements.
Sneha, help us understand this, because this very same WHO, the same protocols, the same procedures, the same checks and balances had provided approvals to the Chinese vaccines with great alacrity. I'm not casting aspersions on any vaccine, but we've read the news stories about the apparent lack of effectiveness of certain Chinese vaccines, are people going to be wrong in suspecting some kind of bias or prejudice or lobbies at work here against the Indian vaccine?
No, absolutely not. And the reason for this is very clear, Shiv. I'll tell you why. I was, in fact, in conversation with the source within Bharat Biotech, and they did say that right now, because we need to beef up our production capacity much more, that's the reason why, the need to approve our vaccine is really not on top of the agenda, because even when the approval comes, the direct beneficiaries of the approval will be Indians. Indians like you and me who have in fact taken Covaxin, 15 crore of them approximately. So that is something that that they have kept in mind, that we are not going to be in a position right away to provide for the COVAX facility. So giving us an emergency use listing isn't an offer that isn't something that the World Health Organization would keep on top of their priority list, is what I was told. So that continues to be something that Bharat Biotech is looking at. Of course, the government of India has in fact assisted Bharat Biotech in improving the production capacity of this vaccine. It's the first inactivated vaccine from Bharat Biotech's, from the company that has got an emergency use listing. Bharat Biotech, Shiv, is not new in this game. Bharat Biotech already has 6 vaccines that have got emergency use listing by the World Health Organization for different infections, for different diseases. But an inactivated vaccine also, if you simply go into the science of this, it's a remarkable achievement. This is not a vaccine that's been approved earlier. And also, the platform, Shiv, let me tell you, is extremely safe. It's the same platform that's used for polio vaccines, for example. So again, for it to get approval is a big boost. It's a safe vaccine. Also, in days and weeks to come, when the vaccine is eventually rolled out for children, you can expect Bharat Biotech for getting this emergency use listing for Covaxin for kids as well. This application was made for people above the age of 18, and that approval has come.
The approval has come, and it is no small feat that India's Covaxin has finally been approved by the WHO. It's taken a long time coming. There have been extra hurdles placed in India's way, as Sneha has confirmed. And Sneha and Milan have both been tracking the story very closely from the, from the regulator's side, from the WHO side, from the Indian Health Ministry's side. And it appears pretty clear that there have been some extra hoops through which India had to jump in order to prove itself. And this is going to be a bitter pill to swallow for many in Milan. Even though it's good news, we should all welcome it. But there is going to be a bad aftertaste over the delays in providing approval for all of those reasons that Sneha just mentioned. And also the fact that India has always had the reputation of being the world's vaccinator. We supply a huge and enormous chunk of the vaccines that go out into the world. So I smell a rat here. Whether it is Chinese influence, whether it is the pharma lobbies in the US, we know those companies. Whether it is the Europeans, we know what the Brits tried to do. Therefore, today is a vindication of India's stand on Covaxin. But it is also a time for us to pause for a moment and regard those in other countries who don't wish for India to succeed.
Well, Shiv, everything you've said is true to a point that India did have to face many hurdles when it came to approval of Covaxin through WHO. There were successive number of meetings that were held by the WHO's Committee Technical Advisory Group. While there were vaccines such as Chinese vaccines of Sinovac and Sinopharm that were given approvals in 45 days, in a record 45 days, since they registered for an EUL. At the time, it was being said that the world required vaccines, and China, for some reason, was able to create and multiply their vaccine numbers, and they were ready for exports as well. This was when India was helping supply crucial medicines, because yes, India is the pharmacy of the world. We supplied crucial COVID medicines all across the world to the US and everywhere, while China was making these vaccines. And there were no questions raised then on the efficacy and the data. We've also seen reports, Shiv, on how the Chinese vaccines efficacy has been questioned by governments who were giving these vaccines as the first shot, had to come back to mRNA vaccines like Pfizer, Moderna and other such vaccines for a booster shot, because their efficacy was somewhere between 50 to 80. Hell, even the people in China are currently suffering because of the vaccines that they have taken, because China's back again in a lockdown. And the mistrust over the Indian-made vaccine was very high. But this is a sort of vindication after the WHO's approval there, because the WHO put us through a lot of tests, put India through a lot of tests when it comes to vaccination. And let me tell you, had this happened earlier, then Covaxin's Bharat Biotech vaccine would have been the first vaccine in the world to have, done trials on children from the ages of 2, as little as 2 to 18. But, that could not happen because other vaccines were approved earlier. And there are countries that have begun vaccinating children already, while India is still waiting, Shiv. And that's very important as well, because Bharat Biotech does have the kind of experience and wherewithal. They were the ones who were exporting vaccines along with Serum Institute of India's Covishield. And certainly that is what the WHO was now stuck under a vortex, because they know that they need COVAX facilities help and they need vaccines from India for COVAX. And India would only supply these vaccines once Indians are vaccinated, because we've put our country first, that's true, but we've also helped our neighbors, we've also helped the world and supplied them vaccines. More than 6.6 crore vaccines were supplied at the time when people were raising questions as to why vaccines were sent outside. But that is the culture and that is the ethos that we follow. We help our neighbors, we help our other countries as well. Considering all of this, WHO's approval has come forward. Certainly, it's going to take some time to ramp up productions, but Covaxin has been in surplus in the country now. We've already begun exports to neighboring countries like Iran, Nepal, and other Myanmar countries. So we should be looking at sending vaccines to COVAX as well. There's a huge problem currently of vaccine inequity in the world. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has time and again reiterated that we want to help the world end the pandemic. And that is something that was the point of discussion at the G20 meet as well. And he's also rallied for countries to accept Covaxin as a safe vaccine. Certainly, Covaxin, I would go ahead and tell you, is much safer than Pfizer, Moderna, and Sinopharm, Sinovac, and Johnson & Johnson.
I want
a safe vaccine for the world is a dream.
Absolutely. No, there is no doubt in anybody's mind that India, being one of the most experienced manufacturer and developer of vaccines, has a vaccine that is in many ways the vaccine to go for. It's a vaccine that has already vaccinated people in their thousands all across the world. For various reasons, because of approvals, because of pharma lobbies, it has had to slow down. But with this approval, India stands vindicated. Gaurav Sawant is also with me on this story. We've all been tracking it extremely closely. Gaurav, like me, is also a recipient of the Made in India Covaxin. Gaurav, take us through how difficult it has been to get to this point. The challenges, the hurdles that India has had to get through. This happens on the threshold of Diwali and comes just a couple of days after Prime Minister Modi. We also make that very big emotional appeal at the G20 in Rome as well.
And that's the key point. India's quiet diplomacy against those big, whether it's the pharma lobbies, whether it's China, whatever be the reason, it's India's quiet diplomacy, quite yet firm. Now, India wasn't seeking favors from the world, is what government officials tell India today. Shiv, India wanted this recognition so that India could help vaccinate the world faster. That's the aim. And that's the point that Prime Minister Narendra Modi also made at the G20. Clearance for this vaccine only helps vaccinate the world faster. Simultaneously, the twin approach that India adopted was reciprocal mutual vaccine appreciation, and just 3 days ago that approval also came from a country like Australia, and that again helps. So that's the effort that India was making, as Milan very rightly pointed out. Shiv, this entire effort, Covaxin, far safer, far better in efficacy compared to several other vaccines in the world. Not that we are comparing, but the fact is this is a made in India vaccine, vaccinating not just our country, but also an effort to help the world.
And there were many voices here in India, Gaurav, and I don't want to ignore those voices. There are voices in India that politicized the Made in India vaccine, that made fun of the Made in India vaccine, that spread rumors and propaganda about the vaccine. you know who those people are. I don't want to take names because it's not important on a day like this. But prominent opposition politicians who said, where is the data? Proof dikhao. How do we know this vaccine is safe? While not saying anything about foreign vaccines, they had all the bad words in the world to say about India's Covaxin. There's egg on their face, or should I say there's vaccine on their face today. I wish them well. I wish them the best of health. But the fact is they've got a huge embarrassment on their hands today with Covaxin being approved. The scars of war as far as India's own efforts to get this going. Gaurav said quiet diplomacy. But at the end of the day, what India has fought, even in that quiet diplomacy, only the Indian administration, Indian doctors, the healthcare system can actually tell. And some of those secrets perhaps will be, buried forever, Gaurav, because as we all know, the Chinese lobby, the pharma lobbies, all of those are extremely powerful. This is going to be something very difficult to digest, Gaurav, that Sinopharm, I mean, we've seen the joke that it has wrought on many people in different other countries, has been approved when this one was left in the balance. Gaurav, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. Biocon Chief Kiran Majumdar-Shaw is with me live. Ms. Shaw, thank you very much. Happy day. Covaxin finally clearing those initial hoops. Little bit of anxiety gone now with emergency use authorization, ma'am.
Absolutely. I think, it's a big, it's long overdue, and it's a big relief that the approval has finally come through, because I think we needed this validation. And I think it also basically is a validation of a made in India vaccine. So I'm very happy, and it's very welcome news.
Do you think India had to jump through additional hoops for this, ma'am? There is that perception out there. Do you share that assessment, or do you think it all happened the way it should have?
Well, you must remember that Novavax is still to be approved by WHO. So I must tell you that WHO has some very rigorous procedures. And actually to get WHO approval is a good validation, because I don't think they... the review process is pretty stringent and thorough. So I don't think we should underestimate that, and it's a good validation of, the review process. And the fact that it has been approved is also a very good validation for Indian innovation.
Do you think this will provide the necessary boost, Ms. Shaw, now for ramping up production, for the export of Covaxin, and for whatever other Indian vaccines follow after this, ma'am?
As you know, all vaccine makers in India are ramping up as much as they can. I think this approval is extremely important because, up until now, a large number of Indians were very concerned about traveling overseas, where they felt that Covaxin might be a challenge. But now it basically is, going to provide them with that comfort to know that they can travel with ease. And I personally think that this approval will help us with booster shots.
Yeah.
Because I think once you get into the booster shot phase, you will need a huge quantum of vaccine. The more vaccine you have in India, the better. So I'm happy that WHO approved it.
In what kind of a position are we to deliver those many billions of vaccines, ma'am? The Prime Minister spoke about it at the G20 a couple of days ago. You've correctly mentioned that, the question of booster shots also will arise. In terms of our capacity right now, you're in the thick of things. How well placed are we to meet that huge demand now?
Well, I think from what I understand, we are already, producing close to 300 million doses of vaccines every month.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty large quantity, and I think in a few months more, I'm sure we will be getting to that 5 billion doses a year kind of level. So I think that's a huge capacity that we have created in India.
Last question, Ms. Shaw. What lessons, if any, do you think India, the healthcare system, the companies, may have learned or should learn from the journey so far in obtaining these approvals, ma'am? Any big takeaways for you or the system?
See, you must understand that all these vaccines are being developed at warp speed.
Yeah.
Many vaccines have hit many hurdles. I think everyone has tried to do their best, I think this was a learning curve for us in India because remember, we've put clinical trials on the back burner for a long time. And COVID has basically reactivated the clinical trial space. And I think this also then validates the fact that we can do many more clinical trials in future. And I think we've learned a lot from doing these clinical trials. And for me, it's not about lessons learned, but it's about an opportunity created.
An opportunity created. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, ma'am, for speaking to India today. A great opportunity for Indian innovation. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, who we have to take very, very seriously because she's in the thick of it. She leads one of India's largest pharma companies and is a manufacturer of vaccines herself. Her company is, and therefore, today's approvals of Covaxin by the WHO has a direct impact on the Indian pharma ecosystem at large. Gaurav, India, medicine maker to the world, vaccine provider to the world, enormous boost. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw saying that, you know, everything else aside, the lobbies and all the other challenges aside, this is a huge validation of Indian innovation.
Oh, absolutely, Shiv. This is a great Make in India story and Make in India for the world, not just for India. What is it that Prime Minister Narendra Modi told the world at G20? We have to combat COVID together. One world, one health. So, you know, there cannot be discriminatory policies. Point one. Point two, by end of 2022, Shiv, 5 billion COVID vaccines coming from India. Once India is through vaccinating everyone, and that is the Prime Minister's aim, which he spoke of even today, where he said 100% vaccination, ghar ghar jaake vaccination. The moment you're through with vaccinating everyone in India, we have a huge ability to scale up to produce 5 billion vaccines a day. 2.2 billion of it will be Covaxin. Point one. Point two, India is vaccinating or helping, medically helping 150 countries across the world.
Yeah.
That's a huge number. A1 quality, good quality control, and very affordable, unlike those big pharmas. And Shiv, you were mentioning the Chinese vaccine. Chinese vaccine went to so many countries, and especially in the Middle East. After taking that Chinese vaccine, they're all going in for booster shots already. And when it comes to Covaxin, Indians like you and I and so many others, we've taken a shot and we're doing so much better, at least as of now. So that is one major advantage with Covaxin that, you know, that Milan Sharma was also mentioning. Covaxin much better than a lot else that was available in the market.
Gaurav, stay with me, and I want you also to ask some questions. VK Paul, Dr. VK Paul, Chief of India's vaccine panel, is live with us. Dr. Paul, thank you very much. Big day for India. Congratulations to you, your team, to everyone who's been involved in the process. Covaxin finally receiving emergency use authorization by the World Health Organization. Your first reactions, Dr. Paul?
Well, we were expecting this positive news to come. I understand that now the news is official. Yes, indeed, it is a landmark in two ways. One, because it represents an end-to-end development of a vaccine in India, which has now got the highest seal of approval to be used under emergency situation that prevails in the world. Second, it is also a relief. It is also very important from the point of view of those of us who have received Covaxin to be able to be seen as receiving a vaccine which has global recognition, and of course that eases up travel, and there are other issues that are related to such an accreditation. But yes, it is very apt that we have this gift from WHO.
Yeah.
And I congratulate the ICMR and the Bharat Biotech collaboration and the hard work of the industry, in this case Bharat's team. And we are very pleased also that Bharat is now producing vaccines to the extent of over 5 crore doses per month, almost 5.25 crore doses per month.
Yes.
And is emerging as the mainstay vaccine for our national program, and it will do so much more now for the world as well.
Dr. Paul, as you rightly said, a wonderful gift just on the, on the eve of Diwali. This is going to gladden so many hearts around the country and around the world. Take us through the kinds of challenges India has faced in obtaining this approval? These are rigorous approvals. There have been some delays. More data was sought. Just give us some insights, sir, into the challenge that was posed to India in obtaining today's approval.
WHO approval of any drug, any vaccine, any biomedical technology, medical technology follows a rigorous process. WHO is not one individual. It is nations. It is the highest, most prominent scientists who decide such procedures, and we respect those procedures. We are part of those procedures because on many of such committees, Indians are represented, Indian scientists are respected. So the first part is that we respect such processes that are followed by the World Health Organization in the larger. Now, there are 10 steps that have to be followed. It's a systematic step-by-step approach that has to be followed. There has to be a total satisfaction that not only the technology, in this case a vaccine, is safe, not only it has followed the steps of development, preclinical, and then clinical development, which means trial, not only to make sure that the highest standards, the GMP standards, are followed in their laboratory. It is not only the results or the findings, what happens to an animal after vaccine, but also that these processes are GMP compliant, good manufacturing practices and good clinical practices compliant. So we respect those processes. But in doing so, we do know that in the case of any vaccine, and including Covaxin, there is sharing of data, there is rolling review with more and more data coming up. So we went through that process as a company, and they provided the information. It's a step-by-step process. It took a little longer than one would have liked to see. But in the end, all is well, and we are very, very proud that an end-to-end indigenous Indian vaccine is now flying high globally.
No, incredible day to celebrate. Dr. Paul, stay with me. Sneha Murdani, who you know very well, who covers health for India Today, has a question for you, Dr. Paul. Sneha, go ahead.
Thanks, Shiv. Dr. V.K. Paul, good evening. Hi, sir. I want to ask you, first of all, I remember several conversations. All of you have a vision that a made-in-India vaccine, like for many other infections, even for COVID-19, will reach different parts of the world. How big is that challenge now to improve the production of Covaxin and ensure that this becomes a vaccine? Because at the end of the day, this is an inactivated vaccine. It's the safest platform known world over for it to reach different corners of the world.
Well, this vaccine started in terms of production capacity is a relatively modest amount, under 1 crore typically for several. It's a company, it's an organization. It is not.
We've lost that audio link with Dr. Paul. We're going to try and re-establish that. An important question there that was posed by Sneha to Dr. Paul. Unfortunately, I think we've lost that link. Let me just try once again and see if we can continue that answer. Dr. Paul, can you hear me? Okay, we've lost that link. We'll try and re-establish that. I can imagine that a lot of people are trying to call Dr. Paul at this point of time to get his view. He is the vaccine panel chief. And as always, India Today has his voice first. We broke the news. We had the vaccine panel chief first. And we have all the details and the caveats first here on India Today. Much more on this big breaking story coming up on the other side. Stay with India Today. You know where you heard it first.